Like Purdue, it's just an example. Purdue losing to Fresno State is okay. We still win the Big Ten West. But me,
Billy Napier gets fired. I'm just kidding.
Really the best time of the year. I will be seated watching Red Zone for 7 hours on Sunday.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an episode of Backyard Banter. Johnny, James, Tanner, what a weekend. Best football weekend of the year. Three pretty good games. One really good game, and we'll just go right into that really good game. We're looking forward to all weekend, all week. Chiefs 27, Bills 24. Crazy game. The game ends on a Tyler Bass field goal. Bills fans hate hearing wide right from their time going to the Super Bowl in the 80s and 90s, but wide right again. Clean game both ways. Super entertaining game. The offense was just going up and down the field really for the first 3.5 quarters. Then defense has stepped up. A special teams error. Then another McCole Hardman error. I feel like we get one of those at playoffs. But yeah. I mean, Tanner, what were your thoughts?
Yeah. So for me personally, man, all-time classic in my opinion. That's what we expected, but. Mahomes gets it done on the road, and that was the question all week. Can the Bills finally do it at home? They got the Chiefs coming to Bills Mafia, and they couldn't get it done again. So just kind of, we'll have a lot of offseason to talk about this, but kind of my original thoughts is the Bills they can't just run it back. It's not working with this team. So you got to keep Allen. You got to keep some of your younger players that are good. But some of the veterans, like, Von Miller, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Poyer, maybe look to move them, get younger, build like a new core. I just don't see Diggs staying there this offseason.
He was really bad yesterday. He was really bad.
And it's been like that for a while.
Yeah. Ever since kind of 2020, maybe 2021, he was bad yesterday. He had 21 yards on 9 targets. Yeah. He dropped, obviously, the one bomb at the end. Yeah. Yes, Allen missed him on the 2nd and 10. He was wide open underneath. But he's not been good. But let's talk about the Chiefs for a second. I mean, Mahomes is the best quarterback of this generation, and he's just money. 6 straight AFC championships. I mean, that's Brady-type stuff. Yeah. He was 17-23, 215, 2 touchdowns. Not even any throws really close to being picked. He also was an effective runner, but Pacheco ran for 98 yards. Yeah. They were able to run the ball. I mean, so were the Bills, but vintage Kelsey. Yeah, that was the one thing I took away. 2 touchdowns. I know that Kelsey and Mahomes right now are the most postseason touchdowns past Brady and Gronk, which is kind of crazy because Brady and Gronk won 3 or 4 Super Bowls together. But I don't know. The Chiefs might be well on their way to the first team to go back-to-back since the Patriots in the early 2000s. Yeah,
just kind of one more takeaway. I think I said it coming in. If the Bills couldn't stop the run, they were going to be in trouble, and they could not stop the run. So that was a big problem for the Bills. For me, going into that game, they couldn't find a way to stop the run, and they lost. It wasn't enough out of Buffalo. Josh Allen made some sketchy throws, made some good throws that weren't caught, but at the end of the day, he missed some reads that he probably need to make. So
yeah, I think Josh Allen played a great football game. I really do. I think the idea of he missed Diggs there on the 2nd and 10. The guy that he was throwing to was wide open. He just got hit. It was. They said it perfectly. I think. I don't know who said it. One of them said it was the Gabe Davis kind of touchdown. And he got hit. He got hit when he was thrown. And trust me, I wanted that Diggs reception very badly, but it didn't happen. But Josh Allen played an incredible football game.
It was awesome.
And
Great as a
the
runner.
throws that he was making earlier in the season that led to the 18 interceptions or whatever it was, he wasn't really making. He was not putting the ball in danger as often as he did in the season. So when you look at this game, you look at the score, you don't really... Sure, they scored a lot of touchdowns. This was an offensive grind. Like, every possession was... The defense was not fantastic, right? Yeah. The Chiefs seemed to have scored every time they got the ball, and that's what you were nervous about when the Bills didn't score. You're like, well, they got lucky. You can think about that 4th and... when they punted and they gave it to DeMar Hamlin to go get 5 yards, which I don't think they'll ever run that play again. And then they get lucky by getting the touchback and everything. But the Chiefs are a team that had a lot of question marks, I think, from a lot of people. But at the end of the day, they have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and now they got Taylor Swift on their side. So, I mean, you just add, it's like a 3-headed monster over there. So, shout out to the Chiefs, man. I mean, the Bills are a very good team going into Buffalo to beat them. It's an incredible win, but now they got the number 1 seed Baltimore, so excited to see what happens next week.
Yeah, we'll go straight to that game. Ravens really take care of business. Shaky first half, need to get their legs on them. It was tied at halftime. Then that defense really took over, and Lamar was unreal. 4 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, over 100 yards exactly rushing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was really good. We'll see. We kind of talked about he's lost in this exact same spot before, and we'll see. I don't really think he was tested by the Texans defense.
No.
Texans defense, not anything crazy. C.J. Stroud didn't throw a touchdown. He was kind of ineffective. Shout out to that Ravens defense, man. That front, even the whole front 7. They got your boy Roquan Smith over there just doing his thing.
Yeah.
But really excited for this game coming up. The Ravens, I feel like they got an easy road, right? They got the bye, then they got the Texans. The Chiefs had to play the Dolphins, who are really good. Then obviously go to the Bills, probably the most impressive one of the year. But yeah, I mean, not much really take away for this game. The Ravens really just took care of business. When
I look at the 1 seeds, and it's on both sides. I look at the 49ers, obviously, we'll get into that game in a little bit. We talk about the Ravens here. It looked like the 49ers, the rust came off throughout the whole game. But the Ravens that first half was a rusty first half. That was we haven't played in a couple weeks kind of deal. And that's what happens, right? And that's what I originally was nervous about. I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be able to take that first half and the Ravens struggle and go out there and play. And he didn't play as I expected him to. But the Ravens, they got all their rust off, right? That second half, they came out and balled. And it's going to the translation into the NFC for me. When you look at these 1 seeds and you look at the bye, that can be good and bad for some teams, right? The ability to kind of jump right back into it because you're playing the biggest games.
They each had a double bye. They each sat stars last week of the season, so it was 20 days since they really played football. It takes time not to.
So it was interesting. Obviously, the Ravens after the halftime, I'm like, man, this could be a good game. Yeah. Right after the last drive the Ravens had, I think the Texans sacked them 2 out of the 3 times or whatever. So I was pretty keen on the Texans going into halftime. And next thing you know, Lamar Jackson comes out in that Baltimore defense, and it was wraps. So
yeah, for me, this is why I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Their defense and offense, it's a trenches game for them, and they win in the trenches, week in, week out. And Lamar, I mean, that run game's already tough enough. You got Gus Edwards, big dude. Justice Hill, big dude. Nobody wants to tackle him in the cold. And then you add in that Lamar is that extra option there. The Ravens are so tough to defend because of their run game. And if you sell out to stop their run game, Lamar is capable enough as a passer and has enough weapons to really beat you over the top and over the middle of the field.
He didn't even play. Isaiah Likely's playing.
He's a good tight end.
Very good.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers did some good things too. But we'll move on to the NFC. We'll talk about my Bucks. Let me just preference this. If you'd have told me in the preseason that the Bucks would have 1 drive to tie the game to go to the NFC Championship, I would have told you that you're on some sort of supplement.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you.
Illegal supplement, yeah.
With that being said, Todd Bowles had probably his best coaching game of his career. This was one of his worst. Mm-hmm. So bad. How many free rushers did the Lions have? At least 4. 5. They got 3 sacks off it. The other times Baker was able to throw it away. Mike Evans got the drop interception there. It's 3rd and 17. Even if he catches it, you're punting. It puts him in a perfect spot. We only a field goal, but that doesn't happen. And then on that field goal, before that, Jamel Dean drops an interception. The Bucks made so many mistakes, and they had the ball to go tie the game. And then now there's this video going around of Todd Bowles not calling a timeout when the Lions kneeled early, and the Bucks should have had 35 seconds. That's a fireable offense.
Yeah.
That you don't know that. It's just incompetence at its finest. And it's really bad. I thought Baker was really good. That the first interception was his fault. The second one, it's whatever. He's trying to make a play. You got 90 seconds to go, 90 yards. Not much you can do. I thought the Bucks got away from the run too early. I thought Rashad White did some really good things. He ran for 55 yards on 9 attempts. But like I said, Mike Evans was unreal. 150 yards. Completely took over the game with that in the first half.
Yeah.
But Jared Goff, they didn't pressure him. I said on the podcast the Bucks need to get consistent pressure with 4, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They literally let Jared Goff do whatever he wanted. Clyde Casey Vita Vea got in there a few times, but they didn't blitz. And I don't know if Todd Bowles is trying to play mind games with them. I get not blitzing 60% like it is against the Eagles, but it's just not good. It's just really disheartening because, yes, the Bucks should have been here, but also the Bucks were 4 or 5 4 or 5 plays away from winning this game.
Yeah.
But again, shout out to Jared Goff. He was so good. Him and Sam Laporte talking about people taking over the game. Really took over the game midway through the second quarter. Jahmyr Gibbs running the ball. Has that one long run. The Lions are really able to run it. And, they go up 2 possessions. You kind of think, oh, is it over? And then Baker again comes back. Defense gets a stop. But, God, I mean, just the mistakes.
Yeah.
And you don't get to this position very often. You guys know it as Bears fans. Trust me, I know it as a Bucs fan. For much of my life, the Bucs even make the playoffs, not being there 4 straight years. You don't get to the spot with a position to win. And then I get the analytics and stuff going for 2. Chase McLaughlin, before he missed that field goal, that's the first field goal he missed all year that wasn't blocked. He's one of the best kickers in the NFL. I don't know, just little stuff like that. Really bad from Todd Bowles. I mean, not taking the timeout with 30 whatever seconds. It's a fireable offense.
Down a possession, right? The Lions technically could have kicked a field goal, and maybe that's what they thought, but it was a long field goal.
They can make the field goal.
It was a long field goal.
I don't care what Todd Bowles thought.
I agree.
Take the timeout. Maybe it was an error on the TV for showing one timeout, but I'm pretty sure they had one timeout.
ESPN's covering it, so I'm pretty sure if ESPN's posting it out there, it's probably legit. But you talked about it now 2 episodes in a row. The way the Bucs were going to win that game was pressuring Jared Goff, and it was the complete opposite. Right, the Lions got to Baker and
just free rushers. They weren't doing anything crazy.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield was still good. He was still good.
He was really good.
Yeah. I'm a big Lions hater. Like I still think they're fraudulent.
You can't say that.
But man, are they set? Like Tanner and I were talking about it. We looked at each other. We're like, man, this team might be set for a long time because Jahmyr Gibbs, man, he is
good. Sam Laporte is really good. Amon-Ra showed up at the end.
Unreal. The connection between Goff and Amon-Ra looks unreal. Obviously, Sam Laporte is one of the best tight ends in football. It's incredible what the Lions have going, and I'm kind of excited, right? But at the same time, as Bears fans, you're like, man, we got to see him twice a week, right? Well, yeah, Dan Campbell obviously doing an incredible job. I've always said it. If I could have a beer with one guy, it's going to be Dan Campbell. So yeah, shout out to the Lions, man. At the end of the day, I got to stop this hate because my hate is just not there's no backbone to it because they're just doing their thing. So we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the Bucs here. I mean, I'm interested to see what they do going forward this offseason.
Yeah.
I think Baker's got to be back. Oh, yeah. You got to keep building.
But at what price? I wouldn't give Baker Mayfield $40 million.
Right.
I would not give him a Daniel Jones contract.
Right.
Yeah. It's what price because you got to re-sign a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the Bucs do. I think they got to keep building around this core. They got some good young players still and some good weapons.
That's what a lot of people didn't realize when they come back.
Yeah.
They got a lot of dudes.
Yep.
For the Lions, though, shout out to them. They haven't given up more than 70 yards to a rusher yet this season, and now they play Christian McCaffrey. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Can they contain Christian McCaffrey? And if not, they still have a sketchy secondary. I know they made some plays, but
their secondary is bad.
Yeah.
It's not sketchy. It's bad. Their interception got tipped off Mike Evans, caught right in their arms. I didn't think they attacked the secondary enough.
Yeah.
You kind of got into rhythm there. It's it was hard. Again, the Bucs might not be here next year. They might go 5-13 next year and miss the playoffs. It's just you're in that situation, and then Todd Bowles. Someone's got to know you got one timeout, and they knew it early. You can't mail it in. It's a fireable fence, and Todd Bowles is the best I've ever seen him coach against the Eagles. But God,
someone's got to be in charge of timeouts.
I would be more okay with this if the Lions were the better team, but I thought the Bucs. Do you take out 3 or 4 plays? I thought the Bucs played well enough to win.
Yeah.
The last game to talk about: 49ers 24, Packers 21. I was maybe saying the score that should have happened. The Packers had the game won.
Yep.
Had the game won. Their Andrews Carlson, pretty sure it's his name, pretty sure he went to Auburn, maybe. He missed a field goal. It was in the 40-yard range, and even Matt LaFleur said, "I pray," or sometime he goes out there to kick. Probably not a good sign. He's probably going to be looking for a job next year. Jordan Love was good. He made some really good plays. They were able to run it really good. They ran it for 136. Aaron Jones, again, over 100 yards. He was really good. This was the game to get the 49ers. They knocked their rust off. They were really bad most of the day. Purdy, he didn't throw an interception, but he should have threw a pick six in the first half. And then we don't know what's going on with Deebo Samuel, but God, it's like freaking death taxes and Christian McCaffrey. When you needed him most, man, he showed up. And that defense, I was listening to podcasts today, kind of shocked me that they have not been getting pressured. They've been, the last 8 weeks, they've been in the lower end in both stopping the run and getting pressure. And they didn't pressure Jordan Love a crazy amount, but when it mattered most, man, that defense showed up. And I'm telling you, they should have got the 49ers this week.
Yeah.
And, the Packers showed they're kind of a young team there at the end, but I mean, Jordan Love still makes some of those plays during the game. Like, wow. Yeah, the Packers got another one.
Well, this goes to my rust comment earlier, right? Like, the 49ers are a very special team. Like, one of the best teams that I can think of in my years of watching football, where I look at just the roster and I'm like, holy cow, like, they just have weapons after weapons after weapons. It's like one of those, like, Dodgers baseball teams where it's like, how do you even afford to get all these guys? And they just do, and they manage to do it. But the Packers were good enough. You know, I would say the Packers were almost the better team.
They're the better team.
And they should have won that football game. You know, on the record, I went 1-3 in my predictions, but you know, I still love the idea that the Packers should have won that game. It's just you got to win those football games, but you got to look at like the Lions, right? They're in a good situation. The Packers, they're in a great situation as well. Again, well coached. They've got a ton of rookies who just showed up this year. I don't even know their names still. And I've been watching them for a couple weeks now consistently, and I still don't even know who they are, where they came from, but they're out there just doing special things. And Aaron Jones, when healthy, is one of the best running backs in the league, and he's kind of been riddled with his injuries, obviously this season in particular. But the Packers are another team in this division that they've got it working. And I don't know if it's true or not, but what I saw on Twitter was that they're going to make Jordan Love one of the highest paid quarterbacks in football. And you know what? They should. Because he is special enough, and he's shown that he can make the correct read and throw, and it pisses me off every time he does it, because the whole comparison between him and Brett Favre, him and Aaron Rodgers, he does kind of look like them when he's out there throwing. Like, he does. Like, it's not, as Bears fans, we might want to be, oh, whatever, they're just love Aaron Rodgers. No, he does. He sat under Aaron Rodgers, and he watched him play, and it's greatness. And Jordan Love, I hope he's not the next great one, but he's very good, and he's going to be an issue.
Undefeated against the Bears.
He's going to be an issue moving forward for the Bears and every team in the division, and maybe even in the league. But shout out to the Packers, man. They put up a fight. But the 49ers, man, they kind of knocked off that rust, and we'll see if they can get stopped now.
Yeah, I think you guys broke it down very well. All I got to say is thank God for that result.
Yeah.
Because the environment that I was in that night had a lot of Bears fans, and there was a lot of nervous energy, and it was like a sigh of relief.
It was
when
our
they lost.
Super Bowl. It's all over Twitter. It's
our Super Bowl every year, and we won it again.
Yeah,
but after seeing all this, God, Bears got to hit on quarterback this offseason, whether they do the draft or go with Justin Fields. But now we're going to go to a little bit of college basketball. James and I were watching a lot of the games, just some insane games, even just in the first window. I mean, Seton Hall goes to overtime with Marquette.
Triple overtime.
No, Seton Hall had Creighton.
Oh, my bad. Marquette goes down the buzzer against St. John's. Yeah. Miami loses on the buzzer beater in the Carrier Dome to Syracuse.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanner has his top 10 here. We're going to break it down. Teaster, feed us some, 10-8.
10-8. So I got some Big Ten love here. Starting at 10-9, I got Wisconsin 10, Illinois 9. I feel like those could go either way. I think they're two teams that are very, very good. Not getting talked about maybe enough on the national landscape. And then at 8, I got Arizona. Fraud alert for Arizona for me.
Do you have Auburn in your top 10? Auburn should be in the top 10 after what they're doing.
I think I have them just outside. I had them written down, and then I kind of crossed them off.
They should be at 10. They've won every SEC game by double digits.
Yeah, Auburn still a very good team, but they didn't. It's their non-conference slate. I'm kind of taking into like resume who you've played so far, so that's why Arizona beat this Wisconsin team, so I have them ahead of them. But I'm nervous about Arizona.
I'm also nervous.
They don't
about Arizona,
defend.
No, they don't.
They do not defend.
Yeah, I would take Auburn over Wisconsin. I think Illinois, especially with Shannon back, should be up there. But I don't know. I watched some of Auburn. They're
good. I wanted to put them in there, but it's so tough. It's so
I'm
hard.
not even going to disagree with your top 10 so far. I think you're dialed.
At 7, I got Kansas. At 6, I got Houston. Two teams here that I wasn't crazy high on Kansas being number 1 preseason. I had my questions with how Hunter Dickinson would fit in, and I still have my questions with that. Houston's a team that really hasn't played anybody, but they haven't really lost anybody.
They had the back-to-back losses that were bad.
Bad in Big 12.
And they haven't lost anyone. Iowa State is a top 25 team, but God, you gotta take care.
I think Houston's fraudulent too.
You're gonna lose some of those games. They're still talented, but we'll see.
And then sticking SEC, I'm gonna go SEC here. I got Kentucky 5, Tennessee 4. I have Tennessee a little bit better than Kentucky because I think Dalton Knecht is a star.
He's unreal. He's emerged as just
insane. If you don't know who he is, look up his highlights against Florida. That's all I gotta say.
And then at 3, I got Carolina. Very high on the Tar Heels right now. I haven't gotten to watch them a ton. I think they play tonight. I'm going to sit down and watch them for a little bit.
You got Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, yeah. And then UConn, I got 2. You could go either way with 1 or 2. I think Purdue's resume is a little bit better. But, again, if you had UConn ahead of Purdue, I wouldn't be mad right now. So.
I'd take R.J. Davis over any guard in the country right now. He's been completely – he's been so money all year for them. I do have UConn at 1.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because Purdue might have the best resume, but God, man, the way UConn plays, it's just rinse and repeat.
I think UConn's better coach.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you hate that?
I think Matt Painter gets a little bit of a bad rap because of his losses.
He does, but I'm
not hating that.
And I'm not gonna discredit Painter. I do like off the pod just to get under your skin a little bit, but obviously these are 2 phenomenal coaches, but. What's his name from UConn is back.
Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
Klingon.
He's back, right? And this team without him was special. You add him, I mean, they're going to be even.
Yeah. You want to talk about good guards? How about Tristan Newton? Their guard just can
go.
I've watched UConn's last 2 games.
Yeah.
They're a pretty good squad, man.
And again, it's early, right?
It's early.
It's middle of January. A lot of things are going to start. You start getting into these gritty times. You talk about 2 teams at the top. Like Purdue, the Big East, the Big Ten's not fantastic.
No, it's not very good. Besides the ACC,
correct. You got UConn, who's in the Big East, and Johnny and I watched a ton of Big East love on Saturday.
Big East got a lot of teams, man.
They're unreal.
I mean, Seton Hall should still be ranked. I don't know. The AP poll came out today. I don't think they're ranked.
Yeah,
but
they play every team tough. Every team. You look at St. John's.
St. John's
Rick
Pitino's going to get that figured out.
St. John's has a shot.
Not be this first year, but
they had a shot at the buzzer to beat Marquette.
It's good luck.
The Big East is. Speaking of the Big East, I believe DePaul fired their head coach today.
They just fired their coach.
So
good.
Things are good.
DePaul should not be that bad. By the way, we're all in this area. We see the talent that's around here. Yeah. Even at the Division III level,
there's dudes.
You got to go get someone that's not get blown out by 20 in conference games. But I love the Kentucky at 5. I think they're at 7 in the new AP pool. They're really good, man.
Very good.
Really good. They just got that freshman out of nowhere. I think they call him Big Z. Who's 7'1".
Yeah.
3 or 4 from 3, throwing behind the back passes.
Yep.
Cal just keeps recruiting, man. This team's really good, man. They got the best 2 guards. Maybe the best 2 guards on their team come off the bench. I mean, this was from a few weeks ago, but I don't think they have a higher plus-minus than Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
And he's just been so good.
They got Reeves over there, transfer from Illinois State, from Chicago. We just talked about talent. Kentucky's got it. I think Kentucky and North Carolina, obviously they're 5-3 on your list. There are 2 teams that can win a national championship and firm on that. So we'll see.
There's some teams, I've been writing down a list as a Purdue fan on teams I don't want to see in my field. Like, if we play someone in the Final Four, okay. We get to the Final Four, I'm cool with it. Tennessee, I want them to be a 1 seed. I don't want to play them again.
Edie did like a USNBC type. What's 16?
The 16 I don't want to see is McNeese State. Actually. I swear to God. I swear.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, I don't want any part of them. I hope they get a 1 seed. We already beat them. Edie didn't play much in that game. It was kind of a rock fight, a lot of fouls. I don't want to play Tennessee because they're physical. And
they're good.
Those physical teams, Purdue can beat them.
Yeah.
But that's how you beat Purdue is you got to be as physical as Purdue because Purdue's a big team.
Yeah.
We got a lot of physical dudes. We rebound well. And to beat Purdue, you have to beat them on the boards, number 1.
Yep.
And Tennessee can do that.
Yep.
There we go. Anyway. Tanner's top 10. Yeah. It's probably right. I mean,
100% right, or your money back.
Yeah. Auburn, honorable mention.
Yeah,
give them their props.
Auburn's so good. I don't know if there's a better.
They just beat Ole Miss by 20, right?
They're good.
Yeah.
We're bringing back the grid. I made this one this time. It is the top 20 leaders in receiving yards since 2010. We did 2000 last year. I looked at 2000. There's a lot of well-known names, but I still think you guys will struggle on a little bit. The team there is a team that I thought that they're most well-known for. So it's not the most yards. They could have more yards somewhere. But when I think of this player, I think this team. If you guys need some clarification later on, we can do it. Each of you guys get 5 strikes. I get to pick who goes first, not Mayo. This isn't Jeopardy. Tanner, you can go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to leave some of the easy ones for James. I appreciate that. We're gonna work together here and try to beat John.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go down here to Broncos and Bears. Is that Brandon Marshall?
It is Brandon Marshall.
Okay.
Good take.
Brandon Marshall is off the board.
All right. Let's go Packers. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is correct.
Yep. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. T-Sir, what are we thinking?
I'm gonna go this other Broncos one here. I'm gonna go with Demaryius Thomas. Or one of the Broncos ones there?
One of the Broncos ones is Demaryius Thomas. It's the first one.
Okay.
Demaryius Thomas is the first Broncos one at 9,763.
Okay.
All right. I will go Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans.
That is correct.
Yep.
Mike Evans.
Thank you for leaving me the easy ones.
Mike Evans, most touchdowns in the NFL
Yeah.
since that time.
For the Bengals there, is that Ocho Cinco?
That is not.
No.
Incorrect.
I'm missing someone. Oh! I know who it is.
All right.
Incorrect.
I'll let you get it. I'm going to go Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill.
That's correct.
Thank you very much. 0 strikes for your boy.
Back to the Bengals. It's AJ Green.
It is AJ
Yeah.
Green.
Okay.
See, I wish we need to like cross off which ones we've gotten.
I have them right here.
Okay.
I have them crossed
all
out.
right. Man. So like. Oh, I see how you put not on this. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There-
This
that's
might be a
what-
terrible take. I'm gonna go Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald.
That is correct.
Good.
All right.
Give me one of the Lions there, Calvin Johnson.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He's the first one.
Okay.
See, this might be awful, and I'm sorry,
Have
Tanner,
some
but
confidence.
Falcons, 13,000 yards. Julio Jones.
How would that be awful?
Okay,
That's-
just
That
making
was
sure.
a great
Just
one.
making sure. You got me on the not on this team because he's an Eagle.
Let me go with the Eagles one down here. Is that Deshaun
It
Jackson?
is Deshaun Jackson.
Okay.
Good
See?
pull.
Come
Good
on,
pull.
man.
Good pull.
I'm looking at this Browns one, and he's active, but he's on the Browns, so it's Amari Cooper.
That's correct.
But did he do that this year?
What?
The 9,486 yards.
He did not do that in 1 year. No.
Okay, just wondering.
No, I didn't know which one to put for Amari Cooper.
Like
because
I
he-
was saying, like he finished, like that's his total stats
Yeah,
since he's
after
been in
this
the
year.
NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Colts, is that T.Y. Hilton?
It is. That is correct.
Okay.
So what? Okay, what are we missing? I'm.
You guys are missing the second and third one. So the Texans,
Okay.
the Steelers.
Okay.
You guys are missing the Chargers one. You're missing the Bills one. You're missing the other Broncos, and then the Rams and Lions ones at the bottom.
We'll go Bills. We'll go Stephon Diggs.
That is correct.
I'm gonna. Sorry, James. I'm gonna have to go
No,
up top here.
that's all right.
Texans, is that DeAndre Hopkins?
It is.
Okay.
So we need the Steelers one up top. That's the last one.
Cheat.
I
No,
promise
there's
you,
a few more.
I'm doing so well that I'm trying to do it like decent. All right, so Chiefs or Steelers. We need. What else do we need? I'm sorry.
You need the Steelers. You need the Chargers. You need the other Bronco. You need the other Lion, and you need the Rams.
Okay. We'll go Chargers. Keenan Allen.
That's correct.
The Steelers
Sorry.
one's Antonio Brown, right?
It is.
See, I don't think I got
These
it.
ones at the bottom are tough.
Yeah, I think I.
So the Lions, Broncos.
You need the Broncos one, the one next to the, and you need and you need that Saints one. So you need that Saints one right there. You need the Broncos one. You need the Lions one, and you need the Rams.
Saints one. So he's still in the league.
Still in the league.
But he's not on the team.
I know.
Could have been.
Who's
Jimmy,
up?
Could have been Jimmy Graham.
I think I'm up.
No,
It's
it's
wide
just
receivers.
receivers.
Okay.
Because Travis Kelce would have been top 5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write down right here. Tanner has 4 strikes. James
I've.
has 5.
Oh, 4 left.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 left.
Man, this Saints one. Like it's hard for this because I can't even think of a name.
And you guys don't get hints yet. You
Yeah,
guys are
that's
doing
all
too
right.
It's a good name. I'm gonna need 5 seconds.
So he
4,
most predominant
3.
for the Saints.
2. That's how I remember him. 1. I need an answer.
No answer.
Nothing.
I think I'm gonna go. Is that Brandon Cooks?
It is Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks off the board.
So we have
You need
Bronco.
the other Bronco, the Lion, and the Ram. So kind of in that triangle there.
Ram. Dude, like honestly, I don't know Rams players. Before.
Yeah, that Rams one's getting me.
Before is it
It's a
tough?
tough one.
Is it tough? Are the
It's
other
not-
2 tough, or are they? Are we kind of blanking?
You know the names.
Okay. Dude, I
I
honestly,
wouldn't be able to guess these either, but you know the names.
Honestly, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna need hints to be able
Another
to.
strike
Yeah,
for
you
James.
can, you can strike me out. It's
Tanner.
fine.
So I have 2 guys in mind for the Broncos.
Roll
I
one
can't
out.
remember one of his names, but I'm gonna go with Wes Welker as one
That
of
is
them.
incorrect. Good
Okay.
guess, but incorrect.
What's his name, dude?
He was more on the Patriots, Wes Welker, and in the 2000s.
Yeah. What's his name?
James, back to you. Just want to take another strike.
I mean, I'm pondering on this Lions one because I've
Dude,
watched enough
just throw out a guess.
NFC North ball.
Throw out a guess.
Well, Calvin Johnson's already
Mhm.
gone. Nope, strike me out. Strike me out,
James has
coach.
2 left.
That's right.
Okay. He played with Demaryius Thomas, and I can't remember his name. He ended his career on the Bills. I just can't remember his name.
The person you're thinking about is right.
Yeah, I can't remember his name for the life of me. And he wore number 14.
Yeah, you know everything.
I know everything but his name.
James, you got nothing from that?
Oh, no. Absolutely nothing. He ended his career on the Bills?
Yeah.
Like last year.
Like last year.
He did not play this year.
And he played alongside Demaryius Thomas.
He won a Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Man, this
now I'm pissed off.
It was
How
Demaryius.
many to timer you? You got 10.
I mean
9, 8.
I don't think we're gonna get him.
7.
I don't think we're gonna get him.
I don't think we're gonna get the rest of them. So
Is the
he could take my strikes. You can strike me out.
3, 2. All right, so
yeah, talk
you
to
guys,
us.
Okay,
We did as well as we can.
You guys did good. So that Lions one, you guys know, he caught a very big touchdown in the wild card against the Bears in 2018.
Golden Tate. Okay.
Golden Tate's
He
correct.
played for a lot of teams, and
He did. I remember him most
On
with
the
the Lions.
No, that's yeah.
I
how
would
we
have
would've
remembered him
remembered him.
on the Eagles though.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I should have put that.
That's fair.
That Rams one is still active. That's my bad. The Rams one is still active, but he's not on the Rams.
He's not on
Not
the
on the
Rams.
Rams.
Still active.
Still active.
That doesn't change anything for me.
Doesn't.
Because like honestly,
He's played-
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know the Rams.
How many teams
like
did he
He
before
was on.
Stafford
He was
got
on their
there.
Super Bowl team in 2018. I think this is his third team. He stopped in Tennessee, and then if I give you the other team now, it'll give it away.
Just give us the other team.
Is it what's it? Robert Woods?
Robert Woods.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then the last one,
I know who it is, I just don't know his name.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes!
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Good job by the boys.
Okay.
If I did 2,000, I thought it would be too tough.
No, that's love.
Tanner did good. I thought getting Demaryius Thomas was a good one to get early. Rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
I always have the memory of him taking Tebow's 70 yards to the house.
Did I do good?
Yeah, you did good too. Very proud of you. Very
Well, you
proud
just
of you
talked
both.
about Tanner. And
Yeah, but Tanner got the hard ones.
I know. Well, we had a strat.
I put the Bears
Give me the
one.
easy one.
I put the Bears one on there just for you guys.
That's
Because Brandon Marshall had the more yards with the Broncos, but I remember him with the Bears.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great grid. Comment your guys' score, how you guys did. If
So
you
I'm up
played along
next.
with us. Yeah.
So I really got to find something
Yeah,
difficult.
and you can even
for
do.
this.
So I did. Tanner did yards per run. I did receiving yards. So you're open to do. You can do quarterbacks. You can do yards per catch. You can do. I almost did touchdowns, but
I might do interceptions.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
who
No,
knows?
I wouldn't know.
I might spice it up.
I
'Cause
wouldn't know that.
they make me look like an idiot on the pod. I got to make these guys
Yeah.
look like an idiot.
But if you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back on Friday with our full predictions for the championship weekend. There's only 3 football games left.
Man,
It's
what
crazy.
are we gonna do?
I'm ready for baseball season.
Oh, man, bring it on.
I am ready for baseball season.
I've already kind of started my full record predictions for each team.
locked in.
So
Next Monday, we're going to have a guest on the pod. We'll be talking a lot of NBA. Next Tuesday, next Monday, we're going to record next Tuesday when it comes out, a lot of NBA. So if you're waiting for that, it's almost NBA time. But until then, thank you guys so much for